So I'm sort of salty because I just closed over could have been anywhere between 200 to 800 tabs open on my phone, probably close to 800. I closed them all and it only gave me like a single extra minute of recording space. It's like I deleted fucking hundreds of porn tabs. Well, just for a minute? Like that's all it's worth in my phone? Wow. Bummer, but whatever. And look at me wasting it on complaining. Anyway, last night I was out drinking at one of my favorite spots to go drinking at because the vibes are there. The bartender is pretty friendly and he's a fun, jokey guy. And I don't know, me and my buddy Sean were having a blast and doing karaoke and drinking and talking. And then out of nowhere, fists start getting flown. And then I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then I guess the bartender, got socked in the face by a member of staff. I mean, not a member of staff, but someone who was trying to like order a drink or whatever. And my buddy Sean, he was confused as fuck because he almost got decked in the process. He was like, hey man, what the fuck's going on? And then I guess the guy, the little short man who assaulted the bartender, was like, Mark, you raped my fucking girlfriend. You raped your ex girlfriend, blah, 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 and starts saying all this shit about rape. And it's like, Sean hears that, and Sean's kind of fucking slow, so he goes most of the evening just not addressing it whatsoever with me in the fucking slightest. Like, at most, I was like, oh, what happened over there? And he said, don't worry about it. But then I noticed that the cool bartender, Mark, he went home, or he just left entirely after that. I thought he was going to come back at some point, but he didn't. And I didn't process it, but let's just say on the car ride home and stuff, eventually, like Sean tells me, I forget if it was on the car ride home or after over text. I think it was over text, so I'm still a little drunk right now. Let's just say Sean was telling me, oh yeah, that Mark guy, like I guess like he allegedly raped his girlfriend or something. And that's why he got decked in the face by that one guy who you saw getting escorted out, the little short one. And I was like, oh shit, really? And now I'm just kind of gobsmacked or gobstopped or whatever the fuck you call it. I'm bewildered. I am perplexed because it's like I hate, I don't know, shit like this is why I like to stay my ass inside and not deal with other people, because you never know what bullshit you like to expect. I see why for the longest time I was content just being like, I'm gonna stay inside, I'm gonna read manga, I'm gonna read manhwa, I'm gonna focus on like self-care, body care, taking care of my own hair, and not doing shit. And if I do have a job, it's gonna be like not too difficult and very limited people interaction, because I fucking hate the stupidity and evil that exists on this planet and is more common than a lot of people want to acknowledge. Because it's like, oh shit, I made out with that bartender this summer. And I remember that actually there was a moment where I was really fucking wasted, and he was mostly a gentleman otherwise, but I do remember a distinctive moment where he did kind of grab my ass as I was drunk and wasted. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you can tell I'm fucking falling over and barely able to open my eyes and shit, and you're trying to grab my ass, that's not good, man. But I will, to his credit, I mean, in his defense, at the very least, I was like, oh, well, we did later on make out that evening, and like he definitely was making sure like, hey, is she getting enough water in her, and he made sure I got on a bus safely and was tracking to make sure I got home safe. And otherwise he was a perfect gentleman who seemed like he cared about my safety and security and didn't want to do anything predatory. And I don't know, now it's just like, ah shit, did I make out with some dude? Or like, I don't know. I'm so tired of the world being filled with people who would sexually take advantage of women and kids and men and other people. It's so tiresome. Because who can you trust? But then again, I guess I can kind of tell who does what, because I've had been crying over what happened between me and my ex, and I see who's definitely come to talk to me and help me out and who hasn't. And let's just say barely anyone aside from you beautiful people on here have come to actually talk and care. And that's scary. It's very scary. And just Jesus, even I went to this other spot and I was playing poker with these dudes, but I had a gut feeling, or also just because, let's just say, I there's a lot of stuff that gets circulated in the scene I'm in, and I am aware that as someone who looks like a chick and all that shit, I'm gonna be put in situations. So simply put, I stuck to just water for now. and like not even risking it. And if I did get a drink, I would absolutely record it and put it on my story and check the bottom because I'm not trying to get roofied in this bitch. And it was a nice, fun evening, and I got back home safe, and the dude who drove me didn't even wait to see if I got home inside safely. But I guess that's a blessing because he didn't get to see my address or where I lived or whatever. But let's just say I talked to another friend of mine who isn't the best guy morally himself, but he's like the lesser of most evils that exist in my area. And he told me, "Oh, you were hanging out with him? Be careful with that guy. He's got allegations." And I was like, "Oh shit, of what kind? Assault?" I was like, "Assault? Of what kind?" He was like, "Sexual." Like, there's allegations that he either raped a girl or he tried to rape a girl. And it's like, fuck. I'm so disgusted by the fact that it's like, it doesn't matter how nice you think a person can be, how sweet and sunshiny and awesome and fun and talented and cool, because like it doesn't even matter if you see them as like some sort of pathetic little weak little weasel who could never harm a fly even if they wanted to try. They are still someone who has the fucking potential to commit harm. And one would think I would learn this. I already knew this lesson before because about a decade ago, like I dated this one dude who was so innocent seeming and pathetic, and we know what happened with him. And I don't know, it's just like 10. I think it's like I'm finally hitting the 10-year mark of, you know what, like it's kind of hard not to be a misandrist if I keep meeting men where it's like if they're not defending, ooh, my buddy's a rapist, but you know he's super cool and he brings in money to this spot so we can keep hanging out. Like, no, what the fuck. It's like, or it'll be someone who's like, oh yeah, I know he was abusive to you and fucked you up, but he's a cool guy, why should he get his reputation ruined? Like, fuck. Like, or it's the niggas being like, hey, that's not my situation. Don't bring that drama over here. I'm just here for a good time. Those dudes can be especially heinous because those are the ones who are so covert, and those are the ones who you know damn well they got some skeletons in their closet because they are entirely dismissing it for the sake of a good time. And then, of course, why am I shocked that the bartender Mark, who is all about a good time, is now getting decked in the face because, oh, look, he selfishly wants to have a good time and doesn't care if a woman gets hurt. Because that is a transferable skill from being an enabler to being a predator. Because some people are enablers because they themselves don't want accountability if they were to do their own shit. And they just want to have the right to also get away with the bullshit. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I want to be able to socialize or have a fun night or enjoy someone's company without the ever existing cloud and fog of, will this person try to touch me inappropriately? Will something happen to my drink? Will I be able to get home safely? Will I have to use my fucking switchblade on a on a hair? Sorry. And then having to worry about if I am going to see alleged predators in the scene this way or that way, or which person hates me solely because I don't like their buddy who allegedly raped a chick. And it's just like, it's so bullshit. It's so bullshit. And I wasn't really fucking believing it at first, but then it's like, I don't know. He did, like, I don't know. It was just, it's a, hmm. I remember a buddy of mine, at some point, I remember with something, I forget if it was Jared or Morgan. But simply put, I remember I told him about something that happened, and he was like, how is that sexual assault? And I said, you know exactly how that's sexual assault. If someone is barricading you from being able to leave, and they refuse to let you go, and they're forcing you onto a bed, and they're repeatedly demanding that you have sex with them, and they're refusing to let you get up from it, that's everything needed to count as like someone who's trying to rape you. Like, yeah, it's like that's actually the most blatant situation. If you don't see that, then you're fucking blind, obviously. Because, like, yeah, it's like, actually, I'm gonna say it, you're brain dead if you don't see how someone preventing you from leaving a space, and it's like dead of night, they are literally restraining you by the wrist and pinning you down by the hips and trying to strip you down and kiss you and say, no, have sex with me, have sex with me, have sex with me, have sex with me, and they're not letting you leave, and they're willing to cause you physical pain if you don't have sex with them. That's all the makings you need to be a predator. It's terrible. Mm. I'm actually kind of shaking as I'm fucking thinking about this because it's like, if I could rewind time, when my ex Jared was doing what he did to me, I wish that I just simply turned my ass around and mollywopped the shit out of him really fucking hard. I would have made all his fucking teeth crooked. Even more than they already fucking were. I really liked that guy. But, you can't. Some people are just. They make a choice to be the way they are. And then they want to fault you because you don't like them being on that evil bullshit. I'm so goddamn tired. So yeah, fuck people who listen to R. Kelly, fuck people who make Diddy jokes, fuck people who harm women, fuck people who harm children, fuck people who harm men, fuck people who, or actually most importantly, fuck people consensually. Stop with the unconsensual bullshit. My head is spinning at the normalization of all this shit. Bye.